Good evening. My name is Gautam and I welcome you to JTN News India. Today we'll be discussing about the new education policy that has been launched by the Indian government. On Wednesday, the Union Cabinet cleared a new education policy NEP, proposing sweeping changes in school and higher education. A look at the takeaways and their implications for students and institutions of learning. An NEP is a comprehensive framework to guide the development of education in the country. The need for a policy was first felt in 1964 when Congress MP Siddheshwar Prasad criticized the then government for lacking a vision and philosophy for education. The same year, a 17-member education committee headed by the UGC chairperson D.S. Kothari was constituted to draft a national and coordinated policy on education. Based on the suggestions of this commission, Parliament passed the first education policy in 1968. A new NEP usually comes along every few decades. India has three to date. The first came in 1968 and the second in 1986 under Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi respectively. The NEP of 1986 was revised in 1992 when P.V. Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister. The third is the NEP released Wednesday under the Prime Ministership of Narendra Modi. The NEP proposes sweeping changes including opening up of Indian higher education to foreign universities, dismantling of the UGC and the All India Council for Technical Education AICTE, introduction of a 4-year multidisciplinary undergraduate program with multiple exit options, and discontinuation of the MPhil program. In school education, the policy focuses on overhauling the curriculum, easier board exams, a reduction in the syllabus to retain core essentials, and thrust on experimental learning and critical thinking. In a significant shift from the 1986 policy, which pushed for a 10+2 structure of school education, the new NEP pitches for a 5+3+3+4 design corresponding to the age groups 3 to 8 years, foundational stage, 8 to 11 years, preparatory stage, and 11 to 14 years, middle stage, and 14 to 18 years as secondary stage. This brings early childhood education, also known as preschool education for children of ages 3 to 5, under the ambit of formal schooling. The midday meal program will be extended to preschool children. The NEP says students until class 5 should be taught in the mother tongue or regional language. The policy also proposes phasing out of all institutions offering single streams and that all universities and colleges must aim to become a multidisciplinary by 2040. The NEP only provides a broad direction and is not mandatory to follow. Since education is a concurrent subject, that is, both the centre and the state government can make laws on it, the reforms proposed can only be implemented collaboratively by the centre and the states. This will not happen immediately. The incumbent government has set a target of 2040 to implement the entire policy. Sufficient funding is also crucial. The 1968 NEP was hamstrung by a shortage of funds. The government plans to set up subject-wise committees with members from relevant ministries at both the central and the state level to develop implementation plans for each aspect of the NEP. The plans will list out actions to be taken by multiple bodies including the HRD Ministry, State Education Departments, School Boards, NCERT, Central Advisory Board of Education and National Testing Agency among others. Planning will be followed by a yearly joint review of progress against target sets. Such emphasis is not new. Most government schools in the country are doing this already. As for private schools, it's unlikely that they will be asked to change their medium of instruction. A senior ministry official clarified to the Indian Express that the provision on mother tongue as medium of instruction was not compulsory for states. Education is a concurrent subject, which is why the policy clearly states that kids will be taught in their mother tongue or regional languages wherever possible, the officer said. This pitch interestingly comes 6 years after Delhi University was forced to scrap such a 4-year undergraduate program at the incumbent government's behest. Under the 4-year program proposed in the new NEP, students can exist after 1 year with a certificate, after 2 years with a diploma, and after 3 years with a bachelor's degree. 4-year bachelor's programs generally include a certain amount of research work and the student will get deeper knowledge in the subject he or she decides to major in. After 4 years, a BA student should be able to enter a research degree program directly depending upon how well he or she has performed. However, master's degree program will continue to function as they do, following which students may choose to carry on for a PhD program. The IITs are already moving in that direction. IIT Delhi has a humanities department and set up a public policy department recently. IIT Kharagpur has a School of Medical Science and Technology. Asked about multiple disciplines, IIT Delhi Director V. Ramagopal Rao said, some of the best universities in the US, such as the MIT, has a very strong humanities department. Take the case of a civil engineer. Knowing how to build a dam is not going to solve a problem. He needs to know the environmental and social impact of building the dam. Many engineers are also becoming entrepreneurs. Should they not know something about economics? A lot more factors go into anything related to engineering today. That's all in today's video. We'll see you tomorrow. Till then, goodbye.